Hello again. Welcome to a semi-special edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of CropLife magazine, here back in studio with my good friend Richard Jones. Richard, welcome back.
And welcome back to you.
And thank you very much. Yes, I know I've been missing from the United States and the studio the last couple of weeks. I had the opportunity, Richard, I was visiting with a company in Norway called Borregaard. It's a very, very interesting company, and of course I could tell you all about it, but while I was there I shot some video of the executive vice president, a gentleman by the name of Tom Erik, gotta love that, Foss Jacobson. And here is a little video clip of Tom Erik talking about himself and also giving a little bit of background on the company Borregaard and what they do in the marketplace.
My name is Tom Erik Foss Jacobsen in Norwegian, and I'm the Executive Vice President for the business area called Biosolutions. That includes both the Lignin business and the biovanillin business. I've been at Borregaard since '96. I've worked with the different areas of the Sfiligoj, you may say, the different business areas, both on the Lignin side and the cellulose side. Borregaard started already many years ago. We were established with a pulp and paper mill in Sarpsborg already back in 1889. And we have had actually a biorefinery almost since the very beginning. It was just that no one were thinking about such a business model at that time. Right after we started, already in the 1920s, we started to produce specialized pulp sold as into the artificial silk in Japan in 1920s. We started to produce second generation bioethanol in 1938. No one were talking about that then. And then we started to produce wood-based vanillin, and we are today the only producer of vanillin based on wood. And then already in 1967 we started to produce lignin. So as you see, over a long period we have had a biorefining model. It's just that today this is much more focused because we have a sustainable raw material. We are extracting almost everything out of the wood to produce sustainable products, replacing synthetic products. And in the 1990s we also became the global market leader in lignin when we acquired a couple of companies that took us into the international arena and brought us knowledge about the lignin in the wood that was already established since the 1930s. So definitely we believe we have the world's most advanced biorefinery.
So that's what Tom Erik had to say about Borregaard. Richard, you may have heard him mention a product called Lignin, Lignin, in the video. And this next video clip actually defines a little bit for viewers who may not be familiar with that product, what it is, what it does, and what it can do in the marketplace.
So just a little bit on what is lignin. You know, if you look at Borregaard's model again, if you take the timber, our raw material, about 45% of that timber log is fiber, and that's what's 98% of the world's producers of pulp and paper is interested in. They extract the fiber for some kind of paper product in the end. We then look at the rest of the timber log as well, because here's where we see there's a lot of value. So the lignin and the vanillin part of the timber log is about 35%. And the lignin is then the main part of that. The lignin is actually what binds the fiber together in the tree. So when the wind is strong, it will be what keeps the fiber together. Today we are producing in volumes as much lignin as we are of cellulose out of this plant. Most paper producers in the world actually burn the side stream when they extract the fiber. This is what is different with Borregaard's business model. We utilize both the lignin, the vanillin, and also the sugars for the ethanol, which is the other 55% of the timber log.
So Richard, that's what lignin is, and of course, one other thing that Tom Erik and I talked about, Borregaard even though it's an older company, has a pretty aggressive program when it comes to new product offerings for the marketplace. And here is Tom Erik talking about some of those efforts.
So I guess every company over time and with a long history develops their culture and their way of doing things. In Borregaard we have a way of working we call the Borregaard way, and we have defined some core values. To us, the market orientation is extremely important to understand the products, the technology, and how we actually apply them with our customers and in the applications. Then we also have an extreme high focus on innovation. Innovation today is a key topic across the organization. We work across our departments of R&D, manufacturing, and the market organization. The market organization is driving innovation because we are out there seeing what the customers use our products for, what they need, how we can improve and develop new concepts. If you look at Borregaard over time, we have quite been successful with our innovation activities. We spend about 3 to 4% of our turnover every year on innovation. We have close to 100 employees in our R&D department, and we have defined new products as new products coming in the last 5 years, and over the last years we have had between 15 to 20% of our total turnover coming from new products. To mention one main project within innovation today, we have a project we have called esfiligoj. Today this is actually defined as a business area called cellulose fibrils. It's a radical innovation project where we actually invented the technology, the product, and we are also in a way inventing the market because it's a new to the world technology. It came out as an idea of our cellulose business. How can we bring these products to the next stage and do something more with the product to create new value for customers? And it's a technology that gives a product which is extremely potent. It's a microfibrillar cellulose, and it's called in the business fair often also referred to nano. It's not defined as nano, but just to explain a little bit what it is, if you have 1 gram of this product, it would cover 1 tennis court. It's 100,000 times thinner than a hair, and it has some extreme characteristics and properties. We see a huge variety of applications. Today we are developing business in coatings, paper, corrugated boards, personal care, and a lot of various applications. We are working today with a little bit less than 100 customers, but a lot of potential leads. So we have high hopes and beliefs for this as becoming a new business area.
Now, Richard, we've talked a little bit about Borregaard and Tom Erik and some of the new products that Borregaard is in the marketplace, but you may be asking, of course, what does all this have to do with agriculture, our market? So I asked Tom Erik that question, and here is what he told me on how the company is helping in that area.
When we look at the different business sectors Borregaard is into, I think it's important to see that we're focusing also much on the agri sector. This is a high priority area for Borregaard. Today, the agri business constitutes around 20% of the turnover in Borregaard, and it's growing. And also in the biopolymers business, which is the lignin, it's even more important, where we are in crop protection and plant nutrition and animal feed. And this constitutes more than 1/3 of our business, and is also a growing business where we put in a lot of our innovation efforts, and we have a significant part of our market team out there working on finding both new opportunities in business and also supporting the existing customers we have out there.
So, Richard, finally, of course, Tom Erik and I talked a little bit about sustainability and zero emissions efforts going forward. Of course, that's a big topic of conversation here in the United States, even bigger in Europe where they are based. And this was Tom Erik in this video clip explaining Borregaard's future efforts when it comes to sustainability and zero emissions.
So it's no question that sustainability has become a key topic, both to our customers, to our governments, and to our climates. And we have been working on a sustainability model over a long time. Over the last 15 years, we have been working on developing life cycle analysis for our products, comparing them with the synthetic products we are in many cases replacing. And the very last years we have also increased focus on reporting and setting clear targets. Also as a consequence, we're a stock listed company and the investor environment is also much focused on this. So we have committed to something called the Science-Based Targets Initiative, driven by CDP, owned by UN and WWF, a non-profit organization driving the governments and industry in the right direction. And actually Borregaard has committed to the targets of 2 degrees Celsius from the Paris Agreement. And since 2009, we have reduced emissions from our plant here in Sarpsborg with 50%, and we have now committed to the 1.5 degrees Celsius goal, and we will reduce our greenhouse gas emissions with 46% on scope 1, scope 2 level within 2030, with 2020 as a baseline year, and we have a net zero target on the emissions of greenhouse gases within 2050. So quite ambitious targets, clear targets that we are committed to as a company. We also have been rated, and I think we are quite proud of the ratings. Last year we received a AA list rating from CDP, and we are among the top 20 companies out of the 13,000 companies rated. So I think it's something we're proud of, and it also puts tough pressure on us to continue delivering.
So there you have it, Richard, a little snapshot of company in Borregaard in Norway. Again, on behalf of myself and my coworker Eric Davis, who joined me on the trip, I want to thank the company for their kind hospitality in showing us around of all their facilities and explaining everything about what they do in the marketplace, and we'll hope to hear more from them moving forward.
Looked like an amazing trip. Anxious to hear more about this.
Yep, very good. So Richard, I know talking about future efforts, of course, like we just were with Tom Erik, I know our company, Meister Media, is getting ready to hold here coming up in July the second Tech Hub Live event in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I know while I was on my trip, I was getting some emails talking about how registrations are going and a little bit about the efforts behind the event. But you're actually here on the ground living it in the right time zone, I might add. So maybe you could share with our viewers what the latest is on Tech Hub Live 2022.
Well, things are really heating up, getting ready for the show. We are seeing a ton of registrations come in. For those of you who didn't get to attend last year, this is really the preeminent show now for the ag retail community to really talk about what's happening with technology on the ground. And so I know our team has been putting together a great program. You can be able to see that on the website. And we've got probably a bigger and better than ever trade show that you're not going to want to miss. A lot of new elements around that, including our Tech Talks will be back again this year, where you get to learn more about the products from the people who actually know about these products on the show floor. So if you haven't had a chance to register yet, definitely there's still time, but you're not going to want to wait any longer. Go ahead and register now. Check out the agenda, check out who's coming on the website. This is an event you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, and I know one of the gentlemen that I had as a guest on a video not too long ago, Ken Zuckerberg, will actually be there as one of the speakers. So looking forward to seeing my friend Ken in person again and hearing what he has to say. And correct me if I'm wrong, Richard, but the program itself is 2 days, the 20th and 21st of July, but there's now also a before event party going on the night of the 19th. You want to give a little hint on that?
It's an opening evening that you're not going to. It's a little bit different. It's bowling.
Bowling,
which
yes.
is it's kind of hard to describe.
I know. We had a video when previous where I talked about it, sort of like a love child of like cornhole and bowling and football.
Right.
So I don't no other way to put it. It has. I'm sure it'll have to be experienced to be believed. So.
I'm already starting to try to loosen up my shoulder here because I think this is going to be a tough one. But it'll be a lot of fun. A great way to kick off what's going to be a great show. Kind of relax. Get back together, network with some folks, and just have a good time.
Very good. So, of course, check out the link on the screen for information on Tech Hub Live 2022. And we will definitely hope to see you guys there because Richard and I will be there running around like mad chickens. But that tends to be when you're the host, you do have a lot to do.
That's right.
Well, Richard, you're not getting out of it. So, of course, your favorite segment coming up, time for Fun with Numbers. So, okay. Of course, at the top of the program, we talked about my visit to the friends in Borregaard in Norway. Yes, that's not a number.
Not a number. Okay.
So, Richie, your number is 1889.
Okay.
Okay. So your choices are: is 1889 A, the year that Borregaard was founded? Is it B, the year that the Borregaard city Sarpsborg was founded? Is it C, the number of current Borregaard employees? Or is it D, the number of times my last name got mispronounced during my trip?
That was way higher. So I would say the number of employees.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Borregaard has about 1,100 employees, Richard.
Okay.
1889 was the year that Borregaard was founded as a company.
That was my second guess.
Okay, and in case you're wondering, the Sarpsborg has a very long history. It was founded in the year 1016, and I'm told it was founded by a Viking prince who came up the river and found, because there was waterfalls in the area, it was a defensible position. And one of the symbols of this prince was the bear, which there were bears all over the town in fountains and as parts of statues. So if you ever get there, I recommend, it's about an hour-and-a-half train ride away from Oslo, the capital of Norway, but it is a beautiful town right on the coast. And temperature-wise, even though I was there here in early June, never got above 66 degrees. So if you like it a little on the cooler side, it's a very nice place to visit.
Well, it's going to be 90 here at about 100% humidity, so that 66 sounds pretty good to me right now.
Yeah. As we're recording this, a heat warning is in effect for us, as it is for about 100 million people here in the United States. I remember reading
That's
that.
right.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for this semi-special edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, Richard Jones. On our behalf, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.